guys, it's Adria. So today I just kind of wanted to sit down and just make like a talking video, and I don't really know where this is gonna go, but I kind of have an idea. I wanted to talk about like change and stuff like that. So recently I went back home to see my family, and it's so funny how, I'll be away from them for like, I don't know, like 2-3 months at a given time, and I'm so used to being here. But then I go back there and it's like I never left. I don't know if anybody else can relate to that, but it's like you get in such a habit of being somewhere or not doing something, or I don't know, just like you just get into habits of things. But then if you return to an old habit, it's like you never quit or you never left or it never stopped. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know, I guess maybe you could compare it to like smoking maybe. I mean, I guess maybe if you've like quit smoking and you haven't smoked in like 10 years, but then like if you pick up a cigarette, it's like you never stopped. I guess it's like something kind of like that, but I'm such a creature of habit and I kind of hate it. Like it's something that I wish that I wasn't. It's something I wish I could change about myself. I do not like being a creature of habit because it's really tiring. Like I don't ever give myself a break. And it's hard for me to like try new things, do new things. Like I've been drinking the same thing for breakfast since I was like 3 years old. I mean, like I form habits and I don't like to break them, and it's hard for me to break them. So, I mean, going back and seeing my family was so nice, and it felt like, normal to me, and it felt, good. It doesn't feel like out of the ordinary, doesn't feel like weird to be there. But then when I come back here, it's like I never left here, and it's like, oh, I'm used to this again. It's so weird when you're used to being in like two different places, because I consider Florida my home, but I also consider up there home. So like when I think to myself, when I'm at work, like I want to go home, it's like, where am I thinking I want to go? Like sometimes I think of home, Pennsylvania home, and sometimes I think of my little apartment here in Florida. So it's weird. I mean, I try not to let my fear of change hold me back. I've tried to, try new things. I used to not even eat different food. I used to only eat pizza from one pizza place. I used to not try anything new. I used to always order the same food, but I feel like I've gotten better with food. I get very attached to people and places. I think that's like my two biggest things are people and places. It's my family especially. It's like the town I grew up. It's just that familiarity. I like knowing where everything is. I don't like not knowing where something is. I like, even like my own belongings, like if I don't know where something is, it bothers me. Even if it's something I don't need, it bothers me if I do not know where it is. So like for my living situation, like if I don't know like where a Rite Aid is, like that's bothersome to me, even though there isn't Rite Aid in Florida, but I don't know if this makes any kind of sense. And I've been under like a lot of stress lately, and I noticed that I do like more obsessive behaviors when I'm in this kind of position. Like when I've just come back from visiting with my family, like I pick at my toenails like you would not even believe. I actually can't even wear flip-flops or sandals or anything like that because I'm just embarrassed of my toes. And I just recently got this little toy thing. It's like a little therapy thing. I know I look crazy, but hopefully this will help me to not pick at my toes. I guess it's some kind of a skin picking. There's like skin picking disorders. It has a name, but my sister just like introduced me to the name for it, and it kind of makes sense because I like questioned if my toenail picking was a form of self-harm because like it does hurt and my toes bleed a lot. But like I'm like, is this self-harm? Like I'm not doing it to hurt myself. I just can't really help it, and I just kind of compulsively do it. Sometimes I don't even realize I'm doing it. It's like when I'm watching TV or like I'm on the computer or like I'm just sitting. It's a lot like when I'm talking on the phone. If I'm talking on the phone, oh my gosh, like my toenails are gone. It's really when I'm like doing something mindless, you know? But like when I'm making a video, like I'm putting like a lot of thought into my videos, so like I never do it like during a video, but I almost always have to wear socks. I don't know, this is kind of random, but it has a name for it. I can like put it in text down here. I forget what it's called, but like I took a quiz online to like see how likely I was to have it, and it said that I was pretty likely. But yeah, my sister told me about that because that's something that she struggles with picking at her skin. For me, it's not really my skin. I mean, I like picking at scabs, I know. I feel like everybody kind of does though, but for me, it's my toenails. And I used to really pick my fingernails, but I've given that up because I like my fingernails to look pretty. So like my toenails though, it's just gone. But yeah, back to like change and stuff. Like I don't adapt well to change, and like it's something I definitely need to work on, and it's something I feel like I have worked on a lot, but I don't know, like when I was up there and when I was thinking about coming back to Florida, I was almost like angry. I started to like think of ways to justify not coming back. And I started to like think of these irrational thoughts of like how horrible Brandon is and like how like he doesn't love me for making me live here. Like, and then I'm back here and I'm like, that's the most ridiculous thing ever. Like, I get in such an irrational place when I don't want to do something. Like I say and I think things that I don't even mean. I was just like talking all this crap about Florida and about Brandon and about how I don't want to be here and it sucks and like it's holding me back, and it's like that's not even true. Like, and like I chose to be here and I chose to come back. I know a lot of this is rooted from my childhood when I would spend weekends with my dad, because that was something that I just didn't want to do, and I would try to think of any reason in the book to not have to go spend weekends with him. So I would just think all of these irrational things, and then when I actually got there, like I was fine. For me, it's just change and separation and moving to someplace new and doing new things, and like I just try to think of any reason not to, and like every reason for it to be bad. And you know, it's funny because like I go back there and I feel like I never left, and it feels so normal. Like back there is so normal, and I miss that. I really do. And you just want to return to your original normality. Like that was just normal to me. It was normal to be there, as functional, dysfunctional, whatever as it was. That was my normal. And you know, once you revisit it, like you kind of want to live in it again, and it's hard when you realize that like you're growing up and things can't go back to the way they were. I feel like that's the worst, especially like since my sisters were graduated, and it's like, you know, all of my siblings and I are like not kids anymore. Like that's a really hard realization. So like if you're still a kid and your siblings are still kids, appreciate them, because one day your brother will be 23 and you'll be 21 and your sisters will be 18, and it's just like, oh hey, we're not kids anymore. We can't sit around and play dolls together anymore. So I feel like that's really hard. I feel like age is something that's really, really hard, and I'm one of those people that likes to hang on to childish things. Like I still sleep with my stuffed dog that I've slept with since I was like 6. I still drink out of a sippy cup. That's probably like my most embarrassing thing, but that's just honest. And you know, I still have like my baby blanket. I still have like all these old things that I just refuse to get rid of. It's hard for me to like come to terms with getting older and like my family getting older and like things changing. It's just like, you know, like my siblings and I not all living under the same roof. Like it's hard for me to realize that. I don't know, this is just stuff I think about. You guys are probably bored to tears. But, yeah, it's just like you just wish you could go back to like your old daily life. Like when I think about like coming over from school and like our basement was like our play area, and like going down in the basement and like playing Bratz dolls, and you know, my Nana calling us for dinner, and you know, having my dinner made for me. Like that's stuff that I like took for granted at the time, but would like kill for now. You know, like I would kill for, you know, that. And so I guess when I go home, like I kind of get a small taste of that again, you know, like people cooking for me and like playing with my sisters. Like I get like a small taste of like my old life. So it's hard for me to like then come back here and it's like, oh, I'm an adult again, yeah. Ooh, it's hot. Oh, it's another reason I didn't want to come back. It's hot, girl. But yeah, I don't know, like, and my birthday is in a few months and I'll be 22. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling 22. Yeah, I'll be 22, so that's like crazy. I do not feel 22. When I was up with my family, my grandmom really wanted me to go to the doctor and the dentist, which I ended up doing, and I'm glad that I did because I've neglected those things for a while, so she was like, oh, you'll have to make an appointment. I'm like, no, I don't want to make appointments. Can anybody else relate to that in your adult years, like not wanting to make appointments? It's like, I'd rather die than make an appointment for myself because I just like, no, I can't adult. I'm sorry. And like when I went to the doctor, like it was a visitation like for my prescription for my antidepressant, and I actually requested to switch, which is something I haven't done. I've been on like the same antidepressant since I started, like back in 2011. So, like, that was kind of a big step for me because I was normally one of those people that would just go in there and be like, oh yeah, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine. But I actually, like, spoke up for myself and I'm like, I think I need to switch because I'm not liking what it's doing to me. I had a Zoloft, and for anybody that's ever taken that, I don't know, it was very intense. I mean, I liked it at first, but then I feel like I became so used to it that like my depression like worked its way through it, if that makes any kind of sense. But it just made my periods way too heavy, to be honest. That was like my #1 reason for wanting to get off of it. But yeah, so now I'm on like new medication, which is similar to it, she says, but my periods won't be as bad, so that's good. I don't like it when people like write on my videos that like I'm way too happy, that I'm like so happy that like there's no way I'm depressed. It's like, okay, because I'm smiling on a camera for 15 minutes, you know, that I must not be depressed. It's like, you know, unless there's a camera that follows me around 24/7, you know, you're never gonna see all of it, you know, so, although I feel like I've already made a video about that, but, ugh. But, I guess overall, like, change is good, and, you know, it's something I try to remind myself that, you know, if I didn't change, then I would still be a little insecure 10-year-old that didn't take her shirt off in the pool and didn't show her collarbones ever and hated herself and didn't think that she was pretty at all. Like, I really didn't. In fact, I didn't even think I knew how to think that I was pretty, if that makes any kind of sense. Like, I can think back to how I thought as a child, and a lot of it doesn't make sense to me. Like, I feel like I couldn't comprehend a lot of what I did at the time, and I feel like I really didn't even think about myself. Like, I didn't think about me as, like, a physical person. Like, all I could think of, like, was things going on around me. I don't know, like, this is weird. This is taking a weird turn, and yeah. And my knee's bleeding. Oh my gosh, I busted my knee. Look at it. What I did was, I was in the car and my legs, my foot was crossed like over my knee, and I went to uncross it and the rubber of my shoe just sliced it. So that's a thing. Oh, and also when I was at the dentist, my dentist was really cool. She was like, who do people tell you you look like? And she's like, no, tell me, because I was kind of like pausing for a second. I was like, people tell me I look like Scarlett Johansson. She's like, yes, that's it, Scarlett Johansson. And she's like, you look like her but younger. You look like a younger version of her. You look like you could like be her daughter or like her younger sister or something. And I was like, I'm probably not that much younger than her, to be honest. And she was like, oh, how old are you? And I was like, 21. She's like, oh my gosh, I thought you were like 15. I was like, oh, well, I also didn't have any makeup on, but yeah. So that was cool. And then a girl told me yesterday that I looked like a younger Angelina Jolie, and I was like, girl, compliments up in here. But yeah, I don't know. I just felt like rambling and making a video, just kind of talking to you guys. I don't know, just thoughts and stuff. And I got a Zen garden, which you guys probably saw in my desk tour video. I don't know if you guys want to see a video of me using my Zen garden. I don't really know how a Zen garden video would work, but yeah, I've been into Zenning. For anybody out there dealing with problems, you know, if you have anxiety or anything, I would recommend this, which is helpful. It helps me not to pick at my toes, but it doesn't prevent me from picking at my knee. And Zen gardens. Zen gardens are cool too, so I got one of those. I have to go check my mail for a little polymer clay keychain that Brandon ordered me. It's a turtle. So, yeah. I don't know. This video is all over the place. I don't even know what I'm going to call this video. What should I call this video? But yeah, I will see you guys again in my next video. Until then, panda hugs. I love you guys. Bye! Oh, and I don't know if you could tell, but I had a panda on my shirt this whole time. It was kind of hidden, but you could see this. But, yeah.